Well, well, hello. Here we are again in the wonderful world of Napoleon Total War. A game that holds many fond memories for many people out there, including myself. So, and the thing is, until I actually got into Napoleon Total War and Napoleonic Wars, really, the DLC for Mount and Blade, I didn't really sort of follow a lot of it, so I suppose I have Mal and the 77Y and everybody in the Napoleonic War community to thank for, you know, piquing my interest in the Napoleonic War era. So, thank you to those lovely, lovely people. Now, recently we decided to send a trade ship over to here, and we found the Ottoman Empire had essentially taken that trade post in the Black Sea. So we, needless to say, are going to have to deal with that. Now, the drill school would be nice. You can see here the army is being built, but we've also got these guys here coming over to join that army. So we're going to have a little bit of an offshoot with extra players or extra people there. He's on his way to the likes of that place there to see what they can find out as to what they're up to, really. Because you know they're up to no good, but we want to be prepared. Information is our friend, and I want to be as prepared as I possibly can be. And so we shall end the turn. Now, I would like to find a way for us to harass the French Empire at some point. But I don't see a way of us doing that kind of straightforward. It's going to be a difficult thing to sort of pull off logistically as to whether or not we can do that. So, you know, it's just going to be a tricky situation. We just have to see how it goes. But we want to get two armies... Oh, hello. Two armies down to the Ottomans before we start punching them in the face, as indeed we will want to. So that's the mass mobilization. Now, mass mobilization is where? There we go. So we need to basically get conscription. So national census is to research, reduces administration costs, global tax rate. Okay, so what we might do is research that next, and then we'll go for conscription. Because at the moment, there is this one, which enables us to build a court of justice, and spawn to gentlemen, maximum number 1, and plus 10 to technology research rate. So it helps speed up our research as well, which can only be a good thing. Oh, hello. Yeah, you need to make your way down to Istanbul. And let's see. Over here in the French Empire. See, we're at war here with the Batavian Republic. But, you know, there's not really much we're going to do about it, as far as we're concerned, because, you know, we can't get there. I mean, if we were the English, then, yeah, we'd jump into there and then start pounding the French as quickly as possible. But unfortunately, that's not an option for us. We can't really send any ships here because, considering that the Ottomans have already taken this spot, there's a good chance... screw it, we'll leave them here. There's a good chance that they will have taken those spots, and they'll have ships and fleets around to protect their interests, which I can't say I blame them. So, we just got to look there. Now, You can see drill school, which we can build in a Tesla when that's available. We can't build it at the moment. So once we've got the mass mobilization option, which we shall probably do soon, I'm thinking. Carronades, recruitment of carronade frigates. Fire and advanced drill, obviously. Diamond formation replaces the wedge, helpful. But it is going to be conscription, then mass mobilization, and then I'll worry about the rest on the way. Army Corps Organisation, that'll be a good one because it will help reduce the upkeep. And you can see their replenishment rates, campaign movement range, and supply depots. So essentially it's a case of reducing the amount of money that the army costs us on a monthly basis. So, anything else we can build, I wonder? No, building. Oh, hello. Oh, a stud farm. How lovely. And a factory. Is that by... Yeah, that's by Moscow, isn't it? So, do I want that? See, -2 happiness for industrialization. Screw it, let's do it. Oh no, we can't, can we? Because we don't have the poverty control laws. Duh. So let's carry on looking. Obviously, that's going to be a helpful one. Because once we've got dialectics, then obviously people will be smarter, they'll be clamouring for more reform, all that kind of stuff. So, you know. Oh, secret society. +2 happiness. And that will be over there by Finland. Interesting. What about that one? Let's put a logging camp in there. And then we'll put a secret society in there. So they can do their logging if that's what they require. And Metal in Kulan. This is going to be Riga. Interesting. And of course Minsk in Belarus. Lovely. So these guys are basically going to be running down to here. Now, obviously, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a decision at some point. What we're going to do with the army. Now, it could be that that's a 6-pounder. Now, obviously, these guys are more mobile with the horse artillery. And we do have Lancer cavalry. So we might leave those 3 behind. And then fill it out with musketeers. Because you've got some grenadiers in there. And you've got standard musketeers. And you've obviously got those fine Pavlovsk grenadiers as well. So that's the sort of plan we're looking at for that one. Let's see. Let's look around. Anything else we can build? Let's see. No, not really. Oh, hello. What's this? Oh, of course, yes, commercial ports. And then this one was going to be a something else, wasn't it? Ah, hello. St. Petersburg. Now, that one, there we go. Building as a dry dock. So, if we build this as a magistrate, a barracks, and then an ordnance factory, then we have that as an option because obviously Moscow's there. And then we have this one here in case we need to march troops in here. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. So there we are, we ended a turn. And our spy is on his way to Istanbul. Quite a walk, you can imagine. But we are also going to need to build up a fleet. Now, the trouble is with a fleet is it can be expensive to run. So that's why I'm trying to build up Russia's economy to generate enough money for us to be able to then sustain a fleet. And then essentially be more aggressive within the Black Sea and the Mediterranean areas. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. What's he doing? Walking in my direction. Okay. Interesting. They're definitely up to something, because they're always up to something. This is the AI for Total War. You know I don't have a great reputation with, you know, peacemaking and all that kind of stuff, you know. Peace is for girls, obviously. Oh, the Great Arsehole. Sorry, the Great Arsenal. So 6-pounder, 6-pounder, horse artillery, foot artillery, horse artillery, and 12-pounder foot. So the good thing about the horse artillery, obviously, is if you need to, you can move them around quite quickly. So that could be quite advantageous. But what we need to do is make sure these are good here. So we can only do a drill school there. So let us, in Kiev, create the Great Arsehole. And put a tax office in. Now let's leave that. Could we put a theatre in? We could do. I'm not massively fussed about that at the moment. So let's have a look around. There we go. We haven't done the steam engines yet. We can't do that. It's a great estate. That'll be 2,700. Merchant house. Let's build that because that will help generate more money. Obviously, equestrian estate we can't build yet because we don't have the money. We've only got 580. So in that regard, it's still pretty good. So obviously down here in Odessa, in Little Tatari. Now, this is where we combine the armies. So, cavalry, horse arty, all these guys, great. 6-pound foot. And then one more of this lot. And then the army can step out. And this army can stay in there. So these guys here, basically just a standard army. And obviously, under Kutuzov, a fine army full of many fresh fellows. Actually, what we'll do is we'll put that in there like that. So we've got the horse artillery, lancers, grenadiers, and then muskets. So hopefully as they generate warfare and all that kind of funky good stuff, what can we build here? See, Russian Jaegers are nice. I like Russian Jaegers. I do like them because obviously riflemen. So we can only build one set of Russian Jaegers in there for Buxuden, is how I will pronounce it. That's how I choose to pronounce it. Tough titties if you don't like that. Nah, not really, but anyway. Ah, here we go. Bennigsen. Count von Bennigsen, no less. So, let's have a look to see. He can't recruit diddly squad. So, and he's in Belarus. So, let's see, because really, we need them to sort of come forward if they can. See, we could just say yeah, build your cantonment there, a cantonment, and do it there. But I'm just conscious of having built it in other places as well, and I'm relying too much on essentially military build-up without building the right amount of infrastructure at the back end to support what will be a large amount of armies. Now, the fact that he's on that bridge, only a single group of musketeers, but still. These guys, next to bloody useless. Militia, no use to man nor beast. So I'm getting rid of all of them because they're just taking up money by existing. And let's have a look. Well, yeah, we can't even recruit anything there right now. So I would like to move him to what would be a better place for recruitment. Now, obviously, I would like to build one of these up. I think it's going to have to be Riga, because it's at the far edge here, and there's 3 entries there, as you can see. So we could build essentially a cantonment, a cannon foundry, and then that basically means that we can build the artillery and everything that we need. And then obviously we can keep this one as just, you know, whatever's needed. I mean, we could end up actually changing this to something else. So we change it to a tax office like that. And then have this one here at the back here as the recruitment area. Then we can deal and push back against here. Obviously Vilnius, still quite small. This place also, Minsk, is going to be another good place. So these are the things that I'm considering. Because obviously we want to get to a situation where we come out on top, obviously. And let's see, any more here? No, can't. Major nations, I'm all good with them. Yeah, the chances of that. Yeah, because that is basically Napoleon's brother. So he is the King of Spain, as installed by Napoleon. So didn't really expect peace to occur as a result of that. So, yeah, you can see there, Catholics, Orthodox, 18-7, so it's not too bad really. We do have the option to exempt certain regions from tax when we take them over, to ease the burden of their, essentially their conquest. Kingdom of Italy, with whom we're at war. Lovely. So you can see these areas here that we will need to deal with. That's a future specified date in the future, obviously. So let's end our turn and move on. Let's see. What are the Prussians up to? What the bloody hell? Okay. So. Yay, Jaegers. Recruited here. How lovely. So that's a nice place to recruit stuff. Now. Here's the army. With, of course, Buxy. And construction reports. So as you can see, plenty of construction stuff created. Which is all good. Let's see what else we can... Okay, so we can't create any more of those. Create a lumber mill. No, can't create that. Oh, there we go, great estate. Steam powered sawmill, don't have the money. Equestrian estate, don't have the money. Fine and dandy, as they say. Now, Little Atari could have a musket manufactory. And it could increase the recruitment capacity, which as you can see is currently 2. It could increase it. Let's give it a go. It although will increase the repression and the happiness of people. So here's all our ministers, there's our policies. Generally speaking, people are okay. Let's see, yeah, so 4 happiness for the region, -4 for all regions. Now we could conceivably put that down, but let's leave it at the moment. It's just equal tax levels. So, you know, obviously some people aren't very happy about it, but it's everyone pays their tax, so you know, that's what you got to do. So you can see Ordnance Factory, Opera House, and a barracks will be next, I guess. Which means we'll be able to build all of this stuff here. Musketeers, Moscow Musketeers, Russian Jaegers. Might be nice to build an army full of Moscow Musketeers. That would be rather cool. Fine, brave soldiers from Moscow. So, let's see. Now, these guys here. Let's see. Can we put them in there? So, Great Arsenal and the barracks. Let's send them over to Kiev for the moment. So at least then we have options. Now, oh, buggering bugger. We didn't want to do that, did we? We should have sent them up here. Now, we are not recruiting anymore here. At the moment, anyway. There's only 4. So, only 4 of these guys will... That's great, you know what? Let's send them to there. And let's recruit some Moscow Musketeers. We can only recruit 1 set of Moscow Musketeers, which is a pity. It could be, because you can see now it's disappeared from here. Oh no, it hasn't. But, see, look there, range and accuracy. 110, 27, 13. 110, whoa. So they are better. So hopefully we'll be able to build in and fill out that army with Moscow Musketeers as well. So that's going to be helpful for us. So then we'll have one army here, one army there, ready to push on to the Ottoman Empire, as we will do at some point soon. I think I would like to have 2 armies, maybe 3. So we could potentially build out another army here. As you can see, we got plenty of options for horse artillery and volunteers and obviously musketeers, all that kind of funky good stuff in Kiev. Now obviously we are constructing barracks and we are constructing a great arsenal. So the barracks means it will give us Cossack cavalry, Russian Jaegers. So we'll be able to build that army out quite substantially, and then we'll be able to essentially bring one army. Where's the bridge? So there's a bridge there, so, and then there's a bridge here. So it could be a case of we bring one army from there, 2 armies from here, bring this one down here to work with these guys, and then push in there, and then start taking the first of the territories of the Ottoman Empire, and then essentially move down to Bucharest in Wallachia and start pushing in. Now we will need a suitable number of armies. We are going to have to obviously deal with Belgrade in the Balkans, but the focus will be Istanbul predominantly. And then obviously we will then be able to control the Black Sea with respect to access for trade, and we could even put a little force there to block any attempts by opposing forces to move through. And then once we've got that area, we can then start moving down into Greece and down to Athens and liberate Athens, well, take over Athens, but then we will probably need a this harbour here to produce warships to then defend this area. So we could put warships in here to defend this area here. So anyone who comes past have to go past the Russian fleet, and then it means that we can defend these areas here a little better. But we will obviously have to deal with issues relating to the French Empire and the Spaniards, obviously. Now, we could conceivably land in Spain and take Spain out first. That would be interesting, because if we took Spain out first, we could then move from Spain into France and attack France from essentially both directions. So we could attack from one direction there and from another direction here. But also it means we could take Napoleon's ally Spain out of the game, and also it means that if we get this area here, we could potentially have a lot more trading possibilities in this particular area, and we can, if need be, take that area there as well, deny that to them. The Papal States and obviously the Italians here, we might take the Papal States, I don't know yet. Kingdom of Naples, don't know yet. We'll wait and see what happens with that. But these are the general directions that we can think about going with the campaign as it stands here, as the Russians march towards domination. I hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you next time.